Xi and Biden hold first phone call in months, discussing hot issues.
Taiwan hit by strongest earthquake in 25 years.
Economic recovery signals seen from the state budget revenue.
Hello everyone, you're watching today's news on NTV channel. My name is Thành. Let's get started. The United States President Joe Biden had a phone call with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping, marking the first direct conversation since the historic in-person summit in November 2023.
The phone call took place amid global uncertainty, so the conflicts ongoing in Gaza and Ukraine, North Korea's nuclear and the Taiwan issue are becoming topics of discussion. In terms of bilateral relations, the two leaders also try to find common ground on risks posed by artificial intelligence and to prevent the circulation of illegal drugs such as fentanyl, especially trade issues as the United States is considering a final decision on tariffs on China goods. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen will also make a 6-day visit to China starting from today, April 3rd, as part of U.S. efforts to manage bilateral relations responsibly and protect U.S. interests.
On the evening of April 2nd, Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính chaired a conference with Vietnamese overseas representatives on boosting economic diplomacy and its role in Vietnam's development in 2024.
In 2023, economic diplomacy made comprehensive and effective developments, contributing to raise total import-export turnover to $683 billion, with a trade surplus of $28 billion, the highest level. FDI attraction reaching nearly $36.6 billion, attracting an increase of 32.1%. Speaking at the conference, the Prime Minister outlined 4 major orientations for economic diplomacy in the time ahead, including effectively organizing high-level foreign relations programs and foreign activities at all levels, making economic content to become a focus of foreign activities, refreshing traditional growth dynamics while promoting new growth dynamics and new breakthrough sectors, maximizing the potential of newly upgraded frameworks and newly signed free trade agreements, creating more favorable conditions for expatriates to contribute to the country's development.
The strongest earthquake in 25 years, along with a series of aftershocks, rocked Taiwan, causing significant damage and prompting authorities on the island, as well as in Japan and the Philippines, to issue tsunami warnings.
According to the U.S. Geological Survey, 2 earthquakes of magnitudes 7.4 and 6.4 Richter occurred this morning off the eastern coast of Taiwan, 13 minutes apart, with about 10 aftershocks recorded afterward. The earthquakes destroyed and damaged 125 buildings, resulting in 9 fatalities, over 820 injuries and dozens of people trapped in collapsed buildings. Half of the destroyed buildings were in Hualien, a city just 25 kilometers from the epicenter. The earthquake tremors were felt in many cities on the Chinese mainland, prompting Japan and the Philippines to issue tsunami warnings. The Japan Meteorological Agency forecasted a tsunami of up to 3 meters that could affect large coastal areas in the southwest of the country and issued evacuation advisories for residents in coastal areas of Okinawa Prefecture.
Coming up next are some updated news.
On April 3rd, the 33rd International Trade Fair of Vietnam, also called Vietnam Expo, kicked off at the Hanoi International Exhibition Center. The expo features more than 480 enterprises from 16 countries and territories, introducing 5 main categories such as Vietnam Export and Investment Promotion Pavilions, National Pavilions, Electronics, Machinery, and Supporting Industries, Digital Technology and E-commerce, Food and Beverage. This year, at Vietnam Expo, among the 16 participating countries and territories, there are 4 major national pavilions from China, India, South Korea, and the Russian Federation, which demonstrates the appeal of the Vietnamese market in attracting investment and fostering sustainable foreign trade cooperation. The fair will take place until April 6.
As part of the working visit in Melbourne City of Victoria State, Australia, the Nghệ An provincial delegation paid a visit to some high-tech farms in the city. One of the most famous farms is the St. Anne's Winery, a vineyard and winery with a long history, which is currently operated organically without the use of pesticides. Prestigious awards worldwide. Before that, the delegation also visited Lotus Farm, chosen by the state of Victoria as the model high-tech farm for replication. During the visits, the Nghệ An provincial delegation expressed the desire to cooperate with Australia to share experiences in agriculture and agro-products processing sectors. They also expressed their hope that in the near future, more high-tech agricultural enterprises from Australia would come to Nghệ An for investment cooperation. The People's Committee of Nghệ An Province had issued Directive No. 8 on enhancing forest fire prevention and fighting measures in 2024. Nghệ An has the largest forest area in the country, with the forest cover rate in 2023 reaching 58.33%. Thus, to protect this achievement, the Provincial People's Committee has requested provincial departments, agencies, district, cities' people's committees, and forest owners to effectively implement forest fire prevention and fighting plans. This includes focusing on training, firefighting exercises, fire clearing, fire break construction, installation of fire prohibition signs, entry and exit regulations for the forest, as well as the early detections and resolutions of any shortcomings in the local forest fire prevention and fighting plans. The provincial state's budget's revenue in the first 3 months increased by over 130% compared to the same period last year, and the number of newly established businesses and those returning to the market also increased by over 120%. This means the provincial economy continues to show signs of recovery, while businesses are also in a good financial shape.
The good signs of economic recovery in the early months are seen by the significant growth in the number of 600 newly established businesses with registered capital of over 6 trillion Vietnamese dongs and nearly 300 businesses returning to the market, an increase of over 120% compared to the same period. The number of investment projects received permission and put into operation increased by double compared to the same period. Economic recovery signals is a driving force for businesses to increase production targets. The export market is also expanding.
The company went looking for export markets in the United States, Bangladesh, South Africa, and the Philippines. This year, we target at expanding and finding new market for our products.
Order volumes have increased, along with many preferential interest rates and reduction of land tax and value-added tax. Businesses are also taking advantage of signed trade agreements to expand the market, resulting in a more than 112% growth in the province's export turnover in the first 3 months compared to the same period. Electronic components, construction materials, textiles, wood chips, and some agricultural products are leading in the province's export market.
The export turnover of mineral export businesses, such as stone powder, has shown an increase. Some export products also see good signals compared to the same period, such as clinker.
The state budget revenue in Nghệ An province in the first quarter of 2024 is estimated to reach over 5.900 trillion Vietnamese dongs, achieving 37% of the estimate and increasing by 134% compared to the same period in 2023. This shows the recovery of economy as well as the efforts and determination of businesses to adapt to the new situation. These bright spots also demonstrates the prompt and effective support policies of the government.
This is the end of the show today. Thank you for watching.